Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Yoruus speaking and welcome to summary video for multiplayer game number 112. As usual, spoiler alert, if you do not want to know how the game went, stop watching the video right now and go to the first position of the playlist where the actual game starts. You have been warned. But if you do want to know how the game went, so you can decide if you want to watch the game or not, or you just want to hear me theorycraft about the game, then I invite you to watch. Now, this game was streamed on Twitch on 7th of February, and I've got in this game two new faces. That's Randy Bo Bandy, playing as Ottomans, and Hellblazer and Q, playing as Byzantine. Also in the game we've got Tony the Bomb, playing as Persia, Kleftor as Russia, and Enkishimi16, playing as Greece. And I happen to get China in this game. And this is what I've got. And I'm like, this is the craziest, strange starting location ever. Because deciding where to go in here sounds strange at best. I was thinking at the start, like, this is like coast, and I was like super happy. Oh yeah, coastal capital with only 2,000 can be attacked by frigates. And I was like, let's go there, let's plant in here. But then, of course, this turned out to be a lake. So, like, an option of going straight for this one was not that great of an idea at best. But it was a tough choice. But at the end, I figured out, like, planning in this spot would only take away 2 lake tiles from my capital. Yes, of course, the mountain. But I would be on a river. I would have almost quick access to the stone, be in range of silk and gold, and theoretically it frees up the spot to settle around in here. But this is like, at the first look, first glance, this was great, right? But when you start thinking about it, it's not really that great of a start. Okay, let's skip when I actually planted the city and knew what the land is all around. This is how turn 50 looks, and this is how my land looks like. Now, I was super happy with what I saw at start. I was really super happy. I mean, like, there's gold, silk, citrus, marble, and cotton. So 5 luxuries, and I've got 5 cities. So at the start, I was super happy what's going on around in here, but at turn 50, it turned out I don't have NC, as you can probably imagine. You can see that I do not have too much troops. Well, I do not have too much libraries, also I do not have too much troops, I do not have enough workers right now, and I would be needing a ton of workers. And also, sort of my expansion plans were a little bit different than what you can see. But it turned out that Byzantine is in here with a Natural Fate Wonder that I absolutely decided not to try to get. I was thinking my thought process was, because of the mountain range and like 1 tile passages in here everywhere, I thought that a defensive plants will be more beneficial for me. Since I'm China, I'm like, who wants to attack China through a hard terrain versus Yoruus, right? So I decided actually having a defensive spots would be the best option. At the same time, there's still 1 tile passage here and 1 tile passage somewhere around in here. But as it turned out, Shumi was quite close. Well, quite close. Maybe not quite close to the east, but he was faster than me. Was not able to get my settler. This settler, first intention, and this settler, this city in here, those 2 cities were supposed to go here. And block off those spots. There's a silver in here. As it turned out, there's Old Faithful in here. And like no passage whatsoever. There's 1 tile passage here and 1 tile passage there. But Shumi got those spots. So I had to throttle back with my settler at Xi'an, and I had to throttle back with Nanjing. So instead of having 7 unique luxuries, I've got only 5 for 5 cities. and only one worker who's working so darn hard to improve the luxury, so I will not be unhappy, but I am unhappy. No NC also, and like NC timing, maybe turn 70 or something like that, so quite late. At the same time, it was looking like Shumi had a good game, but Kleftor, Kleftor had much better game. Right, I think we're gonna just skip to turn 100 because from my perspective there was not too much going on. I was just trying to build up as much as possible, get workers, clear out the barbarians finally. I did not feel threatened by anyone. I hardly doubted Shumi would get all the way in here. And even if he would, then he would take only Nanjing that I really do not care about too much. And rest of my cities would be quite easy to defend too. So I was focusing on just getting this empire finally up to speed. You can see that barbarians even were at Beijing trying to like be on a tourism trip or something like that. And even here you can see a darn city-state spearman killing a barb camp that I was so much working on. So quite unlucky start, I would say, when it comes to the little things like barbs, city plants, claiming the land, and all the other stuff, stealing workers. And I was trying to figure that out. Though, in the game, you could think that that was on purpose, but like looking at this from a little bit of a time perspective, I would say that was definitely not on purpose. The start was just horribly unlucky on little bits. Hey kiddo. Alright, let's skip to turn 100. Here we are, turn 100. So as you can see, and by the way I checked, NC turned 73. So I was trying hard to work on improving the condition of my empire, and as you can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 workers for 5 cities. So actually the worker part I did fix. I am at education finally, but 124 science on turn 100 is not really that great, and astronomy in 3 turns. Now, you can see at the score board, and I'm almost last at points, which not necessarily is a good picture of my empire, because I'm not doing that bad, but I don't have any wonders, I don't have a religion, this is Shumi's religion, and basically there's not much that would gain me any points, but points do not matter that much. But comparable to the other players in this game, this is just a tremendous gap, like 300 point gap between me and Kleftor, and Kleftor is having an amazing game. On demographics, he's just rocking sky high. Shumi is doing not bad, but still much worse than Kleftor. And the map is quite not good when you look at it. There's Byzantine in the north of me, which poses no threat vertically to me, and you would imagine that since Kleftor is next to Shumi and next to Tony, that he should be neutralized, right? That he should be neutralized. But it happened. First of all, I was at war with Tony like from the start of the game, because he like freaked out on my scout. Like, I don't want to scout. I don't want you to scout, because you're gonna tell everybody what I'm doing. And to my surprise, he decided to attack Randy Babandi. And like, he attacked him, he took one city, then Randy Babandi pushed him back, took the city back, and they're at war, and it was like war all the time. War all the time. So Tony is out of the game, basically, out of the question. Maybe he will kill Randy Babandi finally, but to stop Super Kleftor? Who's gonna stop Super Kleftor? There's only Shumi. Shumi that is in a much worse spot with demographics and all the other stuff. And I'm on the far corner of Shumi and have no way to reach theoretically Kleftor or try to slow him down. So it turned out that Kleftor is like having a very good start. Very hard, a lot of hammers basically, and he's not backed by anybody, and this is like a perfect situation for Kleftor. Kleftor is just so awesome when he can peacefully like echo up in Sim City. It's just pure craziness. This is one of the very, very good Kleftor games when it comes to economy at the early mid game. So the idea was like quite strange, and I am far behind. Well, I'm far behind, I mean not far behind, but behind comparable to them right now. So I'm just trying, I'm working hard on my economy and all of that stuff, aiming for a late game. But then, surprise, surprise happened. Not here yet, but I will show you where. Somewhere around where. Okay, somewhere around turn 100 to 110, I've noticed that Kleftor is going so well, and he's like industrial era or something like that soon. So he's definitely in my shape. He went for aesthetics, right? So I was thinking like, okay, aesthetics, fast industrial era, like rushing industrial era for industrialization, getting factories. This is 100% autocracy, and he's gonna try to go for cultural win. And I'm sharing that information with Shumi, of course, with Tony. Tony just doesn't care. He's fighting. Byzantine is like, Hellraiser is, I don't know what his plan was. I have no idea. I haven't seen and talked to him too much, but he was not threatening me at least, so that's kind of cool. So Tony's fighting Ottomans. Ottomans are fighting Tony. Kleftor is like going crazy. It is seen that he wants to go futurism this game and wants to go culture. And Shumi's in worse shape than Kleftor, so you can't really like slow him down or take him down without help from Tony that he can't get. And I'm in here all alone, a little bit behind. Theoretically, I wanted to believe that that was on purpose, but I don't think that was on purpose. I think that unlucky little parts of the early game actually decided that I was behind. And I see this, and I do not have too much culture. I'm investing into culture. And I'm talking to Shumi. Shumi, watch out. He's gonna go for autocracy. So Shumi's investing in culture. There's like 2 city-states that was giving culture. One which Hellraiser took very early in the game, and the second one that Shumi did get. So Shumi is leading in culture. It would seem like a clear autocracy win is not gonna cut it. But Kleftor has such amazingly strong economics that he will definitely gonna try and take away Shumi. It's like 100% sure with artillery and other stuff. And this is exactly what happened. Kleftor declared war on Mr. Shumi, and I'm just gonna skip to another screenshot when you can see what's going on basically on the other part of the world. Okay, there we are. This is turn 145, and Shumi just lost his city. And I was like, okay, this is not looking good right now. This is like looking very, very terribly bad. I'm trying to snatch wonders from Kleftor because he's like 100% into army right now. And he's trying to kill off Shumi as quickly and as fast as possible. And I'm working hard on my culture, but this is just not enough. It is enough for futurism. That's absolutely true. That's enough for futurism, but Shumi is losing the war. And I failed to use any of my great scientists to make anything faster about getting the crucial techs. So I'm barely starting to support Shumi. I was really hoping that Shumi could hold at least in defensive war against Kleftor. But Kleftor was like a beast. He was like a beast, like pumping troops and troops and troops. He just swarmed Shumi. From what I understand, he just swarmed Shumi with superior troops, and he took the city, finally his frontal city, and then slowly after he did take the capital. Well, slowly after, a little bit later on, he took the capital. Let's check out real quickly how long did they took. I'm sure this is, yeah, this is it. This is somewhere around in here. This is somewhere around turn 152, if I remember correctly. Nope, 151. Now you can see my great scientist there for a second. Yeah, so there's turn 151 or 152. And my infantry was not enough to support him. Now, this called, oh, whoa, well, what a face. I guess at this moment of the game on turn 151, something funny did happen, okay? Something funny must have happened. This guy is laughing his ass off. So, anyways, Shumi was dead, and now he still had the culture, but he lost his capital, so he's not gonna make any more culture. Now, I'm the culture leader, the only hope for a culture win. And Kleftor is like adamant. He goes straight for internet right now. Straight for internet, like hotels, National Visitor Center, and all that stuff. And I'm like, uh-oh, I don't have time. I don't have time to, like, try to go to space or whatever like that. I absolutely do not have time for that. So I was thinking like, okay, bombers. It's time to get bombers, but I have no promos, I have no buildings ready up. So I just started to produce bombers so I can save the last city. I was actually like more concerned that Kleftor would take away the last city from Shumi, and he will try to kill me as well. So he will like secure the tourism victory when he kills my capital. But that did not happen. I was able to defend the last city of Greece, but trying to get to Kleftor was just so darn slow. Very darn slow. And sadly, I will show you how this ended. Very sad. Okay, turn 179. This is what's left out from this is what's left from Shumi, and this is the last turn before Kleftor wins. Now, I was really trying hard, but I did several mistakes. I did actually a lot of mistakes. For example, I absolutely forgot about the Great Firewall that I could have gotten like ages before. That would delay his cultural victory by a couple of turns at least. Not only I forgot about that wonder, I also messed up on like, it was built on one turn. I microed my city, so it was at one turn. The turn flipped, and it was still at one turn, missing one hammer, so another turn lost. Not mentioning, of course, the great engineer thingy that I could have built like much earlier on, but also the part that I actually messed another turn. So I probably would have killed Kleftor. I had superior tech, I had finally stealth bombers, and Kleftor stopped researching like military techs. He was still on infantry and other stuff. I was soon to X-count, so most probably in like 7 turns I would get him. But I did mess up the late game. I messed up tremendously the defense against tourism. The Great Wall, especially the Great Wall, like declaring war too late. Like he had a diplomat in my city for some time. So overall I messed up tremendously, and at the end I was just not able to kill him before he got to his victory. But I was close, I would say. I was close. I think in like 7 turns I would break up those defenses and finally manage to kill him. Though my bombers doesn't get no healing promo, so they was like, they had to like heal up a little bit and all that stuff. But sooner or later I would get there. I would get there with my tech superiority, basically. But that sadly did not work well. And Kleftor, GG Kleftor, he won a culture win on turn 180. Very nice repayment for my culture win versus him. But his game overall was just amazing. 3 cities with Russia. He was dominating this game. And on top of that, Tony messed up totally. He was like busy fighting Ottomans and basically doing nothing to stop Kleftor. He was even supporting Kleftor in some sort of a way as some sort of a payment against me. But he was like on Team Kleftor. Like from the half of the game, he was like, I'm choosing Team Kleftor, and he was like, he did not do anything to support us in our war against Kleftor, basically. So he like accepted he's not gonna win and didn't try to do anything useful. He was just pinching me over and over again with some unpleasantries, basically, all game long. And Hellblazer, he supposedly tried to attack Cleftor, but that didn't work out well. I think he was trying to do some sort of embarked invasion, but that did not work well. I think Cleftor spotted that and defended properly. So overall, a very interesting game. It was quite enjoyable, but I was a little bit disappointed at Tony in this game. And without spoiling too much, he did... okay, I'm not going to spoil absolutely anything, because I'm going to tell that in the next game what basically happened, because we're starting to have a history with Tony. We're starting to have a history. Anyways, GG everyone, thank you very much for the game. Good job, Cleftor, from the start to the end. Very good job. Very good job. GG. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't watched the game, I definitely invite you to watch the game. You can find a link to the first position of the playlist in here. So, yeah. I guess that's it. So, one more time, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Best wishes, Yoruus out.